In a world where power meets unimaginable wealth, certain names don't just echo, they shake the earth. These men didn't just amass fortunes, they built empires, reshaped cities, and left chaos in their wake. Today, we reveal the story of the richest gangster who ever lived. Number 10. Frank Lucas. Starting off with a net worth of $52 million, Frank Lucas redefined the heroin trade. Known for his Blue Magic heroin network in Harlem, Lucas cut out the middlemen, making millions daily by directly sourcing from the Golden Triangle. His story was immortalized in the movie American Gangster, where Denzel Washington portrayed him. After his arrest, Lucas cooperated with authorities, leading to the dismantling of his empire. He passed away in 2019, but his legacy still haunts the streets of New York. Number 9. Anthony Salerno. With a criminal empire valued at $600 million, Anthony Fat Tony Salerno ruled the Genovese crime family. His operations ranged from illegal gambling to loan sharking, making him a top figure in New York's mafia scene. Despite his affable persona, Salerno was eventually convicted under the RICO Act and sentenced to 100 years. His reign ended when he died in prison in 1992, but his influence in the underworld lives on. Number 8. Al Capone. Alphonse Gabriel. Al Capone, one of the most infamous gangsters in history, amassed over $1.3 billion during the Prohibition era. His empire was built on bootlegging, gambling, and prostitution. Despite the brutality of his reign, Capone was viewed by some as a folk hero. His criminal activities eventually caught up with him, and after being convicted for tax evasion, he was sentenced to prison, where he succumbed to health issues, passing away in 1947. Number 7. Griselda Blanco. Known as La Madrina or the Black Widow, Griselda Blanco controlled a billion-dollar cocaine empire in Miami during the 1970s and 80s. Blanco was ruthless, orchestrating countless murders and innovating the use of motorcycle assassins. Her criminal prowess made her one of the richest drug lords of her time, but in 2004, after serving nearly 2 decades in prison, she was deported to Colombia, where she was gunned down in 2012. Number 6. Carlos Later. At the height of his power, Carlos Later was worth $2.7 billion. Co-founder of the Medellin cartel, Later revolutionized drug trafficking by establishing a key transit point on Norman's Cay in the Bahamas. His daring operations made him a legend, but after his arrest and subsequent cooperation with the authorities, he was sentenced to decades in prison. Later was released in 2020 and deported to Germany. Number 5. Leona Roberts Helmsley. Known as the Queen of Mean, Leona Helmsley was a real estate mogul who amassed $5 billion. Helmsley's wealth came from luxury hotels, but her disdain for the law was infamous, especially after she declared, "We don't pay taxes, only the little people pay taxes." Convicted of tax evasion, she spent time in prison and left her vast fortune to a trust, including a $12 million bequest to her dog. She died in 2007, leaving behind a legacy of both wealth and scandal. Number 4. Dawood Ibrahim. Dawood Ibrahim, with a net worth of $6.7 billion, is the head of the notorious Indian crime syndicate known as D Company. His criminal activities stretch beyond India, with operations spanning across the globe in countries such as the United States, the United Arab Emirates, and Europe. Ibrahim is most infamous for orchestrating the 1993 Bombay bombings, a series of attacks that resulted in over 250 deaths and hundreds of injuries. He is also believed to be deeply involved in drug trafficking, extortion, arms smuggling, and terrorism. Despite being labeled a global terrorist by the United States, Ibrahim's whereabouts remain a mystery. It's widely suspected that he is hiding in Pakistan, evading authorities for decades while continuing to control his vast criminal empire. Number 3. Semyon Mogilevich. Semyon Mogilevich, often referred to as the boss of bosses of the Russian mafia, commands a criminal empire valued at $10 billion. Born in Ukraine, Mogilevich quickly rose to power by orchestrating a variety of illicit activities, including arms trafficking, drug smuggling, and the infamous Russian financial fraud schemes. He is believed to have masterminded some of the most complex and dangerous criminal operations, stretching across Europe, the United States, and beyond. Despite numerous warrants for his arrest, Mogilevich has skillfully avoided capture, evading law enforcement agencies worldwide. He is reportedly under the protection of the Russian government, making it even more difficult to apprehend him. His ability to remain undetected, along with his extensive network, cements his status as one of the wealthiest and most dangerous gangsters in history. Number 2. Amado Carrillo Fuentes. Amado Carrillo Fuentes, known as the Lord of the Skies, built a cocaine empire worth an estimated $25 billion. Fuentes revolutionized the drug trade by using a fleet of private jets to transport massive amounts of cocaine from Colombia to Mexico and then into the United States, bypassing traditional smuggling methods. His innovative methods made him one of the most powerful drug lords of the 1990s, with his cartel controlling a significant portion of the cocaine that entered the United States. However, in 1997, his reign was tragically cut short after undergoing extensive plastic surgery to alter his appearance and evade capture. Despite his death, his legacy in the drug trade remains, and he is still remembered as one of the most influential and wealthy criminals in history. Number 1. Pablo Escobar. And at the top of the list, we have Pablo Escobar, the infamous kingpin behind the Medellin cartel. With an estimated net worth of $30 billion, Escobar was not just a criminal, but a global phenomenon. He controlled the cocaine trade, smuggling 80% of the cocaine entering the United States during the 1980s. His wealth knew no bounds, with money literally buried in the ground. Escobar's reign was marked by violence, corruption, and a twisted sense of philanthropy. After a bloody battle with the Colombian government, he was killed in 1993, but his empire and legacy continue to captivate the world. To learn more about the world's most powerful criminals, make sure to subscribe and stay updated on the latest videos. Don't miss out, hit that bell icon for more shocking stories.